Who is the world's greatest car salesman? The answer to that today is probably unknown. But years ago, there was a book about the world's greatest car salesman. And that book was about Joe Girard. He was a salesman in Chicago, and he was hands down acknowledged the greatest car salesman in the world. Now, there's some principles that he relayed, and I'm going to relay those to you about how he became the world's greatest car salesman. Now, these are just principles that you can use in any sales field, but if you're a car salesman or a car dealer, you can help your people with this. So we'll start with number one. And a lot of these you probably already know, but some you may not. Number one is to build relationships. Girard emphasized the importance of building strong, genuine relationships with his customers. He believed that trust and rapport were crucial in the sales process. So number one, build strong, genuine relationships, not fake. Be interested in people and have true relationships. That's number one. Number two was consistent follow-up. He was known for his relentless follow-up with potential customers. He personalized greeting cards, notes, and other ways of communication. He stayed top of mind with his prospects. So relentless, consistent follow-up is number two. We said building relationships and then following up and never failing to follow up and make it personal. Don't send out a mass email, dear customer. Use their names and so forth. All right. Number three was customer service. He placed a high value on providing exceptional customer service. He believed that satisfied customers would not only return to buy more cars, but they would also refer their friends and family to him to buy cars. So it was a domino effect. He did all these other things. He showed that personal interest, consistent follow-up, and gave them great service. And so it trickled down to them, their friends, and family. The fourth thing was that he was an active listener. He wasn't just a skilled talker. He was more of a skilled listener. That seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? You think of a salesperson talking all the time. Now, I talk quite a bit, but we need to change that. It needs to be listening is the most important thing, and paying close attention to his customers. That's what he did, what their needs were, what their preferences were, and then he tailored his sales approach to meet their specific needs. Active listening. He was a skilled listener. Are you a skilled listener? Then if you're a salesperson, you need to become just like Joe Girard. Maybe you'll be the world's greatest salesman wherever you are. Somebody's got to be it. Why not you? Number five, product knowledge. He had an in-depth knowledge of the cars he was selling. He could tell you everything about them. He was able to answer any question and provide detailed information on those cars. And what did that do? It instilled confidence in his customers. Well, you need to buy this car because it's a great car. No, he could tell you why, what the benefits were. And they did not, he knew exactly how to tailor that sales pitch to these customers that would move them to buy. So he had great product knowledge. So we need to do the same. We need to know our cars inside and out or whatever we're selling. That's number 5, product knowledge. Number 6 is overcoming objections. He was adept at handling objections. Objections are going to come. We can't avoid them. And he didn't see objections as a barrier, but he saw objections as an opportunity to provide solutions and address concerns. Once you get the concerns out of the way, it's smooth sailing to the close. Overcoming objections. Welcome them. Repeat them. So what you're telling me is you're worried about the gas mileage or whatever the process would be. So he was very skilled and adept at handling objections. So welcome those in your sales, whatever you're doing. Number 7, self-confidence and a positive attitude. Confidence and a positive attitude were hallmarks of Girard's approach. He believed in the value of his product, and he believed in his ability to help customers find the right car. If you believe that it's right for them, it's easier to convince them it's right for them. And so self-confidence and a positive attitude. He believed he should have the business. He earned the business by all these other things that we talked about beforehand. That's number 7, self-confidence and a positive attitude. Number 8, time management. He was disciplined with his time management, ensuring that he allocated his time and efforts effectively to maximize his sales. He didn't waste time on unproductive exercises, but he managed his time and he ensured that he allocated it to the most important things. Make the first things first. That's number 8, time management. You have to do that. If you're going to sell a lot, you have to manage each part of the sale and move on to the next. Number 9, record keeping. Now, you might not have thought of this. He maintained meticulous records of his customers, what their preferences were and what their buying habits were. He kept a file on each customer. This information allowed him to tailor his communications and offers to these customers. He knew what they liked. That's number 9. Number 10, personal branding. He earned it, but he branded himself as the world's greatest car salesman. And this self-promotion helped him stand out in the market. Now, you may not can say that, but maybe in your area you can be. And it was true. The numbers proved it. No other car salesman, no other person had as many units sold as Joe Girard during his time. He was. Now, there's only one of those, but you can be a big fish in a small pond. And there's a fine line between being arrogant and personal branding. If it's true, say it. And then, yeah, I've been very fortunate. Got a good team. You don't have to take all the credit. But if it's true and you're the best in your area, let people know it. So let's go over those quickly one more time in review. 1, he built personal relationships, strong personal relationships. 2, he had consistent follow-up. He was relentless in following up on potential customers. 3, he had great customer service. He did his job. He believed that satisfied customers would give him referrals. They would return to buy more cars from him. Makes sense, doesn't it? He was an active listener. He did more listening than talking. He paid close attention to what the customers were saying and what their needs were. That's number 4. Number 5, he had an in-depth knowledge of the cars. He had product knowledge to the extreme. And so study, know your inventory, know what you're selling, and you'll instill confidence in those customers, just like Joe Girard did. Number 6 was overcoming objections. Objections should be welcomed by a salesperson. You know what's on their mind, and if you can solve that, now can we move on? Can we go ahead? So he was very adept at handling objections, and he welcomed those objections. So what you're saying is this: I heard you, I'm listening, I'm an attentive listener. So here's how we're going to handle that and make you feel better about it. Okay? Number 7 was self-confidence and a positive attitude. A positive attitude can make a great deal of difference. It's like the old saying there with 2 kids, one in a room with a pony and the other in a room with pony manure. And the kid sitting in the corner with the pony, sad, discontented, moping. What's wrong, Johnny? This is not my pony. They're going to take it away. He won't like me. Something will happen. They went to the other one. He's slinging that pony manure everywhere. He's laughing. He's singing. He's joyful. What is it? He said, with all this manure, I know there's a pony in here somewhere. So he looked through all the manure. Sometimes we got to do that. There's a lot of manure out there today too, isn't there? So he had self-confidence and a positive attitude, a can-do attitude. Now, it's cliche, old-fashioned, but it makes a difference. It makes a difference. Number 8 was time management. He segmented his time. He allocated time for the most important parts of his sale, and that's actual selling, doing the paperwork and so forth. That's not the most important thing. It's actually getting to get the customer to sign on the dotted line, then move on. Number 9 was record keeping. He maintained meticulous records. He knew their preferences, their buying habits, and he could tailor his offers, and he could follow up and get referrals with that record keeping. So keep your records of past sales. Touch base. Do you know of anybody that's looking for an automobile? Number 10, and then you have to earn this: personal branding. The world's greatest car salesman, Joe Girard. Look it up and see. So you can be the county's greatest salesman. You can be the dealer's greatest salesman, but give credit to others too. Nobody does it by themselves. It's hard. It's like, what was the name? Max. Anyway, he had a song, It's Hard to Be Humble. And it's facetious. He said, "Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. I can't wait to get up in the morning because I could get better looking each day. To know me is to love me. I must be a heck of a man. Oh Lord, it's hard to be humble, but I'm doing the best I can." So that's facetious. We want to truly know our limitations, but don't limit ourselves. Know our limitations, but don't limit ourselves. Our ceiling can be much, much higher than even we think. And it's not being braggadocious. We just want to do a good job, do all these 10 things, and you'll succeed. Now, it's a little different today, the way leads are produced and the way cars are sold. Many of them are sold on the internet. Today, there's modern techniques, and we have one of the best modern techniques. Sorry about that. That was a Freudian slip, wasn't it? Tech sneak. And that's what we do, kind of sneak up on these customers. It's called a call capture. Go to textcatcher.com. That's my company. It works for automobiles. It works for real estate. I sold 1,000 houses in our area. That's pretty good. May not be the greatest, but not many going to reach that goal. And a lot of them are used with call capture. It's just a little rider that you put on the automobile or on a real estate company, and it gives the information about the car. But you get the cell phone number of the texter. That's why we call it text catcher. And you can talk to your broker, or if you're the owner, we can set up a time to talk about that and how we'll give you a free trial there, and see if it works for your dealers. If you got a good location, that's your most important asset. Your most expensive asset normally is that lot where the car is. And why give away all the information, the manufacturer suggested retail price? Text for the information. These will be for people that come at night. They'll work all night. If you're closed there and you have cars that are exposed, you can put these on the cars on the outside, and it works. And then you'll get those leads from those, besides the internet and besides all this other. But it might be a way to fish in a different pond. A lot of people put QR codes on their cars. Well, that's snazzy, fancy. But you know what that does not do? Capture the prospect. It gives them the information, but you get nothing back. And it could go to a different salesman. You could be the one that got that person there. But if you've got the call capture, you give them something, all the information on the car, beautiful pictures there if they can't get inside, or even if they're on the lot, then you do not give them the price until they give you their cell phone number. That's fair. That's fair, isn't it? It's fair to them. They get immediate. A lot of people do not want to talk to a salesman. Would you agree with that? So textcatcher.com, or you can email me at landonkrigler@gmail.com. Not the world's greatest car salesman, but maybe you can be. Taking these tips along with the modern techniques. Use all the things that you have at your hands there to use, and try to figure out which ones are least expensive. How does 6 cents per lead sound? Pretty good, huh? Maybe I could be the world's greatest salesman. If you've got a 6 cent product, that's hard to say. I still got most of my teeth here, though. I don't know why I'm lisping here. So anyway, thank you for watching this video if you stayed to the end. And as we always say, for those about to sell, we salute you, because it is not easy. May you become your county's best, your state's best, your country's best, or the world's best salesman.